Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Supershow. Top story this week, of course, virtual grand gathering, live as I'm recording this. I'm going to go through the featured matches, the tournaments, as best I can. Unfortunately, virtual grand gathering will still be going on when this show is released. So we will have to cover the trios tournament next week. We'll have to cover the Monday night Tornado Tag Team tournament next week. And any other pop-ups or things that come up. I'll have to cover that on next week's show. But I'll give you as much as I can about virtual grand gathering so far, starting with the featured matches from Wednesday night. One match before Talk of the Universe, one match after. The opening championship match of virtual grand gathering was for the LFF Old School Championship. The challenger, Titan, appearing here as Affectionate Guy, who may or may not be similar to Dude Love. Titan playing as the original version of Cactus Sack, the champion. The Italian Bombata, champion as Chainsaw Jimmy. Standard singles match does not go past crowd meter 0. The winner of the opening championship match of Virtual Grand Gathering, still LFF Old School Champion, the Italian Bombata. Congratulations to the Italian Bombata for a successful defense. The second championship match, Wednesday, for the LFF Trios Championship. The challenger, Sean Loeb, playing as the League of Extraordinary Grapplers. The champion, Pretty Hair Piercer, champion as Just Business. Again, a match that does not go past crowd meter 0. The winner here, new champion, the Collector, Sean Loeb. Congratulations to Sean Loeb for becoming the new LFF Trios champion. He had been the greatest LFF Trios player to never win the championship. That mark is gone. He is your new current LFF Trios champion. Thursday, we have the first tournament of the virtual grand gathering, the Boss Roddy Beatdown. Traditional Boss Roddy Beatdown structure. Each player enters the tournament with a pool of 4 entrance cards and a pool of 4 spectacles. When they use an entrance card, they cannot use that entrance card again for the remainder of the preliminary, the group stages. When they use a spectacle, same thing. If they make the top cut, the pool's reset, everything becomes available again. And if they are used, they cannot be used again in that portion of the tournament. This was a group stage tournament with a top cut. 39 players played in the tournament. There were 10 groups. 9 groups of 4 players, 1 group of 3. Each of the players played the others in the group. Top 2 records per group advanced to the top cut, which got us 20 players into the top cut. There were 4 matches to go from a top 20 to a top 16. Those matches were New York rules matches. They were play pure matches. No entrances, no spectacles. That way, those players wouldn't run out of entrance cards if they happen to make the finals. Once we had the top 16 determined, the top 16 was also New York rules matches, but entrances and spectacles could be used. The quarterfinal round was all Ring of Fire matches. The semifinal round was steel cage matches. That was the stipulation. And the finals match was new stipulation, Blood Bath Brawl. This was a stipulation that was previewed on this week's Talk of the Universe. There was a third place match. I do not know if they used the stipulation in the third place match. In 4th place in this tournament, playing as emphasizing the SRG Boss. In 3rd place, playing in this tournament, Simple Chuck, playing as the Queen of Cupcakes, Penelope Mai. Your finalists were Possum Kang, playing as Dr. Mila Mai, and Harvey Luster playing as the original version of EC3. The winner of the tournament, winning turn 1 with a handshake of doom in the finals, Harvey Luster. Congratulations to Harvey Luster for winning the Boss Righty Beatdown. Possum Kang, great showing, taking second place. I believe the match here ended so quickly, there wasn't even time to start streaming. Congratulations to Harvey Luster, starting off with a big tournament victory for Virtual Grand Gathering. That was Thursday. Friday, we have our first Friday featured match for the LFF Hardcore Championship. The challenger, the GOAT Brock Smith, playing as the new version of D2, the one with the original D2 gimmick, but it can only be used 3 times per match. The champion, the Italian Bombada, champion with Spencer Vance, the Boatswain's mate. This was a Psycho Circus match. It goes to Crowd Meter 1. The winner at Crowd Meter 1, still champion, the Italian Bombada. Congratulations to the Italian Bombada on a successful defense. His next challenger will be Possum K. Friday night, we have the Supershow Cup. 47 players in this tournament. Group stages, 7 groups, 6 players per group, 1 group of just 5. Each player plays the others in the group. Top 2 records per group advance to the top cut. 8 groups means we cut to a top 16. In the top 16, the opening round, all of the matches are steel cage matches. In the quarterfinal round, they are all Psycho Circus matches. The matches in the semifinal round are Ring of Fire matches. In the first semifinal match, we have John Polverino playing as Mac Attack take on Ricky Riot playing as Ricky Riot. This Ring of Fire match doesn't go past Crowd Meter 0. The winner going on to the finals, John Polverino. In the other semifinal match, we have Johnny Eldorado as the winning ticket versus the Italian Bombada as Mr. Pop and Twist. This match goes a little deeper, goes to Crowd Meter 1, but the winner here, moving on to the finals, the Italian Bombada. So we have 2 of the founding members of Impact, 2 of the most veteran players in Super Show who've had great matches against each other. The Italian Bombada as Mr. Pop and Twist versus John Polverino as Mac Attack in a New York rules match. Starts at Crowd Meter 1, no disqualifications. This ends up being a very short match. The winner, in dominant fashion, becoming the 3rd man to win the Super Show Cup, joining past winners Big Match Pete and the Star Maker Everett Stevens, the Italian Bombada. Congratulations to the Italian Bombada for winning the Super Show Cup. We also had an announcement after this match. John Polverino is going to be the general manager of Origins Game Fair. He'll be running all of the events at Origins if you're going later on in June. We also had a pop-up tournament Friday. A 16-player pop-up tournament, group stages, 4 groups, 4 players per group. Each player plays the other 3. Top 2 records advance to the top cut. Top 2 per group. So we have 8 players in the top cut. In the quarterfinal round and the semifinal round, the matches are New York rules matches. The finals match, chosen randomly by spinning the wheel, was a Ring of Fire match. Your semifinalists were the Norseman as the original version of Void, and Zach Ackley, and unfortunately I don't have who Zach Ackley played as. Your finalists were the Star Maker Everett Stevens as main event Brett versus TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen as Spencer Vance, the Boatswain's mate, with the winner, TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen. Congratulations to Drew Madsen for winning the Friday night pop-up. Saturday, we start the day off with the military games for the LFF Veterans Championship. This is a birdcage match. There only end up being 4 people in the birdcage. Jared Bridge had been announced originally for this match. He did not show up. He was not part of it. They talked about adding another player. That didn't happen. We just have 4. The first 2 players in the birdcage were Joseph, a.k.a. Ali McGregor, as Vampire Hunter Foreman, and Ed Galval as Evil Ed the Cheesehead. I believe the second version of Evil Ed the Cheesehead. The third man in was Gene Kenny as Kempo Kenny, and the fourth and final man in was the champion, the LFF Veterans Champion, Everett Stevens. The first player eliminated, I believe, at crowd meter 2 by the champion was Ed Galval. The second player eliminated, I believe, at crowd meter 6 by Joseph/Ali McGregor, Kempo Kenny. So it comes down to Joseph McGregor, Ali McGregor versus Everett Stevens. The winner at crowd meter 6 and new LFF Veterans Champion, Joseph, a.k.a. Ali McGregor. Congratulations to our new champion. Everett Stevens had a great run as champion. I'm looking forward to seeing what our new champion can do. We also had the new product come out around the time this match was going on. We had a number of new competitors. We had a few new cards. We had a new entrance card. You could buy everything for $140. That's one copy of all the new releases. You could also buy them a la carte, going from memory. There's an entrance that's involving the wedding of the Wolf Guardian and Horatio, the LFF Tag Team Championship belt, one of the two. $1 American was one of the cards. 12 Grapple Mat came out. A Hot Rod came out. Check supershowthegame.com to see all of these new competitors and cards. You can buy them individually, or you can buy the entire bundle for $140. We also had the ladder deck. Now, I was misunderstanding the ladder deck. I thought we were getting a completed ladder deck. That's not the case. What opened up was commissions for the new ladder deck. They're going to be creating a ladder deck like they did the Steel Chain deck, like they did, I think, the Ring of Fire deck. I don't remember all the decks they've done. But basically, people will be able to commission art for the cards that will be in the ladder deck. Some of those will be alt art cards of cards that already exist. I believe that's the existing ladder line in the strike spots. And then they'll be creating new ladder cards for the grapple spots 2 through 29, for the submission spots 3 through 30, skipping every 3, obviously. If you want to get art commissioned for those, the alt art card, so the ladder line, the strike lines, $110 for those. The new cards, the grapples and submissions, $150 to have art commissioned to be on those cards. There was a competitor. That competitor has already sold out. That was $450. From what I understand, Bob Dunn bought that competitor. We will see a ladder version of Amos the Ironworker as the competitor in the ladder deck, subject to change. But that is what I have heard so far regarding the ladder deck. Speaking of $450, the ability to commission a competitor for Grand Pack Wave 3 has come out. $450 to commission a competitor for Grand Pack Wave 3. So this will be things like Runtime Terror, the Meeples Champion, Theo the Greek Neo, General Lee Wong, Hallow King. New versions of those competitors. Going from memory, I think same stat lines as the previous competitors, but new gimmicks, new finishes that can be used with the older competitor. And you can use the older finishes with the new competitor, so you can mix and match the finishes. That is available now if you would like to commission those. You can do that. That's where we are with the product. Continuing on Saturday for Virtual Grand Gathering, we have the LFF Intergalactic Championship on the line. The challenger, James Booker, playing as the new version of Helen. The champion, Zach Ashley, playing as Luna Hallows. The match goes to crowd meter 1. The winner, still champion, Zach Ashley. Congratulations to Zach Ashley for a successful defense. Saturday, we have the Create a Competitor tournament as part of Virtual Grand Gathering. The winner of this gets to create a competitor in Supershow the game. 40 players play in the tournament. Swiss rounds. We have 5 Swiss rounds. We end up cutting to a top 16. No undefeated players, a few 4-1s, a number of 3-2s. Nobody with a record below 3-2 made it. There were 4 players that were tied for the last spot. And so there was a fatal 4-way match. It was myself, Ant West, Zach Ashley, and Everett Stevens. Unfortunately, I did not advance. Everett Stevens gets the spot, makes it into the top 16. In the top 16, all of the matches were Liger's Den matches. In the quarterfinals, all of the matches were Psycho Circus matches. When we get to the semifinal match, they stream the first semifinal match between the GOAT, Brock Smith, playing as the new version of the GOAT, Brock Smith, and Simple Chuck playing as Rah Rah Perry. They are given the option to choose the stipulation. The setup was General Manager Calais would give them a stipulation. If they both agreed, they'd play. If one of them disagreed, they'd get a second stipulation. If they both agreed, they'd play it. If one of them disagreed, they would just be given a third stipulation. The first stipulation they were given was Steel Cage. Going from memory, Simple Chuck disagreed. The second stipulation, Ring of Fire. The GOAT Brock Smith disagreed, so they end up playing in a ladder match. This ends up meaning the other semifinal match is a ladder match. So we have the GOAT Brock Smith versus Simple Chuck, the GOAT versus Rah Rah Perry. Ladder match goes to crowd meter 2, the winner advancing to the finals, Simple Chuck. The other semifinal match, also now a ladder match, because of what happened between the GOAT and Simple Chuck, is the Starbreaker, Trey Cantrell, as the original version of Cyclone, versus the Flame Fighter as the Flame Fighter. This ladder match goes much deeper, goes all the way to crowd meter 4. The winner advancing to the finals, joining Simple Chuck, the Starbreaker. So in all TVA finals, as the Starbreaker, Trey Cantrell playing as Cyclone takes on Simple Chuck playing as Rah Rah Perry. This is a no disqualification match, so no disqualifications, no countouts. It goes to crowd meter 3, the winner at crowd meter 3, winning the ability to create a competitor in Supershow the game, the Starbreaker, Trey Cantrell. Congratulations to the Starbreaker for winning the Virtual Grand Gathering Create a Competitor tournament. Afterwards, it is announced that he will be giving this Create a Competitor ability to the Possum King. So we will likely see Possum King come to Supershow the game. Congratulations to Possum King for getting this ability. Now let's talk about the rest of the featured matches from Saturday. The first match I wasn't able to see live because I was in that tiebreaker match. It was for the LFF Tri-State Championship. The challenger, El Hombre Cybernetico, playing as El Hombre Cybernetico, takes on the champion, Le Penguin, playing as Nightmare King. It's a New York rules match because they all are. The winner, new champion, El Hombre Cybernetico. Congratulations to El Hombre Cybernetico for becoming the new champion. The next featured match I'll talk about, the LFF Tag Team Championship. The challengers, who I believe got the shot because of success at Sunshine SmackDown. The Real Beater Tag Team of Commissioner Drew Matson playing as Vacation Commissioner and the LFF Chiropractor playing as Candyman. The champions, the Grump Appreciation Society Tag Team of Colby Cram playing as Raven and the Grump playing as Hardcore Alexander Slamilton. The match goes to crowd meter 1. The Real Beater Tag Team, which half of the members didn't even want to be in the match and were very vocal about it. Drew Matson, not a tag team fan. They end up pushing it to crowd meter 1. The winners at crowd meter 1, still champions, the Grump and Colby Cram. Congratulations to the champions for a successful defense. Their next challengers will be the tag team tournament winners from PAX Unplugged, Chris Pate and Jared Bridge. Then we have the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship. The challenger, the New York Phenom, playing as Twisted Aggression. The champion, Bob Dunn, champion with the corner office. The match ends up going to Crowd Meter 1. The winner at Crowd Meter 1, still champion, Bob Dunn. Congratulations to Bob Dunn for a successful defense. The New York Phenom hit the finish at Crowd Meter 0, rolled, I believe, a 20, but Bob Dunn able to kick out, go on to win the match. Great showing from the New York Phenom. The next challenger for the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship is going to be determined by a future number 1 contender match. Brian Schmidt is going to be one of the players in that match. His opponent will be the winner of the virtual Grand Gathering Tornado Tag Team Tournament happening Monday night as Monday Night Fights. So we'll find out then who he will face. He will be playing as the Wait For It. His opponent will not be determined until Monday night. The final featured match Saturday for Virtual Grand Gathering is for the LFF World Heavyweight Championship. The challenger, the prize fighter Simon Davner, playing as Loudmouth Leo Larynx. The champion, Candyman Dan, champion with the Ikuzo version of Fox Assassin. This match does not go past Crowd Meter 0. The winner, new champion, the prize fighter Simon Davner. Congratulations to the prize fighter for becoming the new LFF World Heavyweight Champion. And actually, look at my notes here. There was a featured match from Saturday I missed. Sorry for that. The Deep South Championship match was also going on at the same time, streamed on, I believe, Chibi's Twitch channel, while these matches were going on the Supershow, the SRG Universe Twitch channel. In the Deep South Championship match, we have the challenger from KSW, the enforcer, playing as Johnny Gargano, take on champion Simple Chuck, playing as Johnny Korea. Standard singles match goes to Crowd Meter 1. The winner, still champion, Simple Chuck. Congratulations to Simple Chuck for winning the Deep South Championship match. We also had one pop-up tournament Saturday night hosted by Ron Rumble. It was a 6-stop pop-up tournament. Everyone had to play with a deck that had no more than 6 stop cards in it. 8 players were in the tournament. Group stages, 2 groups, 4 players per group. Each player played the other 3. Top 2 records per group advanced to the top cut. No stipulations in the semifinals. The finals and the third place match were both main event stipulation matches. In 4th place, playing as Mr. Rumble, was Mr. Rumble himself, Ron Rumble. In 3rd place, playing as the second version of Anarchy's son, Hold the Line Harry. The finalists were El Hombre Cybernetico, playing as the Abominable Big Shot, and Franklin Turtle Clark, playing as Jupiter, with the winner, Franklin Turtle Clark. Congratulations to Franklin Turtle Clark for winning Saturday night's pop-up. El Hombre Cybernetico, good showing, taking 2nd place. That was Saturday. Sunday, the first featured match for Sunday was for the LFF Underworld Championship. The challenger, Simple Chuck, playing as Night Terror. The champion, Harvey Luster, champion with Scott Prime. This match does not go past Crowd Meter 0. The winner at Crowd Meter 0, new champion, Simple Chuck. Congratulations to Simple Chuck. He's now the LFF Underworld Champion, the Hollywood Heavyweight Champion, and the Deep South Champion. Congratulations for holding 3 championships. Congratulations for becoming the new LFF Underworld Champion. The second and final match, Sunday and for the entire virtual Grand Gathering, the final featured match was for the LFF United States Championship. The challenger, Colby Cram, playing as Yamato Hama. The champion, Bob Dunn, champion with the Brain still standing, the Grand Pack version. This was a long, hard-fought match, went over 50 minutes, went all the way to crowd meter 3. The winner, new champion, Colby Cram. Congratulations to Colby Cram for becoming the new LFF United States champion. The last event that I can talk about, currently in progress, there's the Sunday lunch pop-up event hosted by Zach Ashley. 15 players, 3 groups, 5 players per group. Each player played the other 4 in the group. Top 2 records per group advance to the top cut. As of the time I'm recording this, they just started the top cut. 3 singles matches. The 3 winners will go on to a triad final match. If possible, I'll tack the results on to the end of the show. If not, I will report on that as part of next week's show. That is what I have for Virtual Grand Gathering. Again, I'll talk about the Sunday Trios Tournament and the Monday Tornado Tag Team Tournament on next week's show. Other news from this week. We do have a few other things outside of the Virtual Grand Gathering. Let me start with some Supershow Olympics news. Like I reported on last week, the Supershow Olympics, once the teams are put together, every round will consist of a series of same division matches, draft position matches, and a premier player match. In the same division matches, World Division competitor versus World Division competitor, Underworld versus Underworld, so on and so forth. I don't know if we'll draft one competitor from each division. I haven't counted up the divisions. We may have combined divisions we did in the previous Supershow Olympics. Draft position, first competitor drafted for one Olympics team versus first for the second. Second competitor versus second, so on and so forth. Premier player match, each team chooses a premier player. They face off in a stipulation match. It will be a random stipulation every time. The team that wins Supershow Olympics will receive medals for winning, and they will receive championship shots. The championship shots to be determined by General Manager John Calais. As of right now, the player draft is scheduled to take place June 11th, Wednesday, during Talk of the Universe. And apparently, the competitor draft is supposed to be immediately afterward. I think that's a mistake. Very simple reason. You have to know what competitors the players on your team have access to before you draft. From what I've heard, there are new players going into Supershow Olympics. They may not have a large collection. When are you supposed to communicate with the players on your team? Not everyone is going to be available Wednesday night when they're drafted. If a team drafts a player, they may not be able to communicate with them for a few days afterward. So I think this is a mistake. I would not have the competitor draft right after the player draft, just because you need to get together with the players on your team and figure out what are your options for what you can draft. You don't want to draft competitors that your players don't have access to. So I'm not a fan of that choice. I think there needs to be some time for team captains to get together with their players and just talk about what we can draft, what a player can be reasonably expected to have. Once the drafting is done, here's the tentative schedule for the rounds in the Supershow Olympics. The opening round is scheduled to run from June 22nd to July 6th. The second round, July 13th through July 27th. The third round, August 3rd to August 17th. And the final round, August 24th to September 7th. Again, all this is subject to change if necessary. That's currently what we know about the Supershow Olympics structure. We did have, last Wednesday night, the captain draft order. We have 16 captains. I talked about those 16 captains on last week's show. Those 16 captains were all put on a wheel on the computer. They spun the wheel. Every time a captain was chosen, they were removed from the wheel. the order they were chosen is the order they will draft their players in the draft, assuming it's not a snake round. In past drafts, what they've done is they'll go first pick to 16th pick in the first round. In the second round, 16th to first. In the third round, first to 16th, back and forth until the draft is done. I assume that's what they'll do here. And then this order will be reversed for the competitor draft. So the team that got pick 16 in the first round of the player draft gets the first pick in the competitor draft. Here is that draft order. The 16th pick in the player draft goes to the Cannoli. 15th, TVA Commissioner Drew Madsen. 14th, the Collector Sean Loeb. 13th, Candyman Dan. 12th, the Cheetah. 11th, Brian, wait for it, Schmidt. 10th, Colin the Chrononaut. 9th, Zach Atchley. 8th, the GOAT, Brock Smith. 7th, Simple Chuck. 6th, the headband champion, Matt Nealon. 5th, Hold the Line Harry. 4th, John Pulverino. 3rd, the Starbreaker, Trey Cantrell. 2nd, Harvey Lester. And the first pick in the player draft, last pick in the competitor draft, for the first round at least, General Lee Wong. That's the draft order for the Supershow Olympics. I have a little news regarding Kickstarter. The next Kickstarter campaign for Supershow the Game is going to be Supershow the Major Wrestling Edition box set. This is going to feature a new Matt Cardona competitor, a new Brian Myers competitor, 1 through 27 decks. It will also feature a deathmatch crowd meter. Not sure what that's going to be, but that will be part of it. In addition to this, there's going to be a partnership with the game WrestleVania. This is a blend of Castlevania type monsters, vampires, and professional wrestling. That campaign partnership may tie in with this Kickstarter campaign. The details are still being worked out. Nothing's been announced yet. But the WrestleVania aspect may tie in to the Major Wrestling Edition box set Kickstarter campaign. Speaking of the Kickstarter campaign, if you have created content from the comic book Kickstarter, make sure you send in your created content form as soon as possible. The deadline, for example, to get your competitors drawn into the comic is approaching soon. Final thing related to the Kickstarter, for Super Lucha Kickstarter specifically. When the product arrives, one of the things Supershow the Game is looking to do is to allow people who were not part of the original campaign to essentially buy the product. They're going to do it through a website called GameFound. GameFound.com, GameFound. From what I understand, cards subject to change. This could include box sets, singles, playmats. So if you weren't able to be part of the original Kickstarter, this is a way that maybe you could get your hands on Super Lucha product. And then the final bit of news I have before I get to the only featured match and tournament outside of Virtual Grand Gathering this week is about Origins Game Fair. I mentioned earlier John Pulverino going to be the general manager for Origins Game Fair. It looks like what they're going to do instead of the Super Lucha product is it will be some old school product. There may be some new old school competitors debuting. Players may be able to choose which old school competitors they want when they are buying their old school packs. We'll see that still in development. Also at Origins Game Fair, we may see the debut of the new weapons line, the baseball bat cards. Again, all of this subject to change. We'll have to see. It looks like the current plan is that the baseball cards will be prize cards. I don't know if they will also be purchasable, but they will at least be available as prize cards if they are available at all. Again, all of this is dependent on if the product gets shipped to SRG Universe in time. All right, so we had one non-Grand Gathering tournament this week. Monday Night Fights, Underworld Division Tournament. 10 players, group stages, 2 groups, 5 players per group. Top 2 records per group advanced to the top cut. The finals match ends up being a Ring of Fire match. In 4th place, playing as the second version of White Lily, Bob Dunn. In 3rd place, playing as the new competitor Colby Cram, Colby Cram. The finalists in the Ring of Fire match were the Starbreaker, Trey Cantrell, playing as the original version of Cyclone, and Ricky Riot, playing as the Grand Pack version of Theo the Greek Neo. The winner, Ricky Riot. Congratulations to Ricky Riot for winning Monday Night Fights. The other featured match was a Wednesday night Ignite match, an old school open challenge match. In this match, we had Titan in his persona as Buddy Kindman, very similar to Mankind, playing as the Overgiver. His opponent, Rambo Apocalypse, playing as Noah the Boa. In their match, which doesn't go past crowd meter 0, the winner ends up being Rambo Apocalypse. Congratulations to Rambo Apocalypse for winning the Wednesday night Ignite old school open challenge match. As far as tournaments coming up for next week, we know what Monday Night Fights is going to be. It's going to be a Tornado Tag Team Tournament. Tuesday, I expect we'll have Dojo, twitch.tv/SRGuniverse. Thursday, I expect we'll have Chibi's Thursday Night Fights or some sort of tournament. Wednesday, Talk of the Universe. Thursday, I'm assuming Expanding the Universe. Friday, Candy Shop Talk, supposed to be back on the Big Picture Premium Twitch channel. With that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I would like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.